Shanghai Children's Hospital recorded 900 fever cases requiring intravenous therapy in a single day. The COVID pandemic received barely 7 lines in China's history textbook, provoking public outrage. The Asian Games in Hangzhou are being held under extremely strict security. Analysis: risk in Zhongnanhai, forbidden army guards could potentially turn into assassins. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Shanghai Children's Hospital recorded 900 fever cases requiring intravenous therapy in a single day. In multiple regions across China, there has been a notable surge in the number of individuals presenting with fever symptoms in recent times. Consequently, various centers for disease control and prevention entities across the nation have swiftly issued emergency alerts and advisories in response to this concerning trend. Of particular concern is a pediatric hospital located in Shanghai, which has experienced a sharp uptick in pediatric fever cases over the past week. Reports from Chinese media further reveal that on the morning of September 13th, within a mere 2-hour window following the opening of the Children's Hospital of Fudan University's Emergency Fever Outpatient Department, over 90 children were registered, all exhibiting symptoms of fever. As the day progressed beyond 10:30 a.m., the influx of patients necessitated an expansion of the fever emergency department from 3 to 5 clinics. During the peak weekend period, the hospital recorded a staggering 900 cases requiring intravenous treatment in a single day. Additionally, the hospital surveillance data indicate that the number of influenza A cases detected in a single day has surged to over 100, marking a 30% increase compared to the period preceding September 1st. Medical experts at the hospital specializing in infectious diseases have noted a pronounced rise in influenza cases since the commencement of the school year in September, with a notable impact on primary school students and kindergartners. Beyond Shanghai, similar trends have emerged across various regions of China since the advent of September. Multiple provinces and cities, including Xi'an and Shaanxi, as well as Zhejiang, Jiangsu, and Chengdu and Sichuan, among others, have successively issued emergency notifications in response to the sudden upsurge in fever patients. In the case of Xi'an, Shaanxi province, the sudden drop in temperature following heavy rainfall has led to an unexpected surge in pediatric outpatient cases at local hospitals. Consequently, numerous kindergartens, primary, and secondary schools in Xi'an have issued guidelines for influenza prevention. The COVID pandemic received barely 7 lines in China's history textbook, provoking public outrage. Recently, a wave of public outcry was ignited when netizens revealed that the latest Chinese high school history textbook dedicated a mere 7 lines to the pandemic. On September 16th, a Chinese netizen's post on the social media platform triggered widespread attention due to its brevity, prompting many to label it an understatement. According to images shared online, the textbook's passage on the pandemic reads, "In early 2020, an abrupt outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic emerged as China's most significant public health crisis since the founding of the People's Republic of China. This crisis rapidly spread, affecting a vast population and posing unprecedented challenges for prevention and control. Under the leadership of the Party Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its helm, an approach prioritizing the safety and health of the people was adopted. This approach relied on scientific, precise measures that adjusted to the evolving situation, resulting in significant progress in safeguarding lives, health, and the simultaneous management of the epidemic alongside economic and social development, a testament to the nation's resilience against the pandemic." Furthermore, the book section titled Historical Aspects underscores China's perceived role in global efforts against the pandemic. The text highlights that China took swift and proactive measures when confronted with the sudden outbreak. It promptly reported epidemic data to international bodies like the World Health Organization and the United States, publicly shared the genetic code of the COVID-19 virus, and expedited the development of nucleic acid detection kits. By May 2022, China had dispatched an astounding 430 billion masks to over 150 countries and 15 international organizations, along with more than 4.6 billion masks, substantial quantities of protective gear, 18 billion testing reagents, and over 2.2 billion COVID-19 vaccine doses to more than 120 countries and international entities. China stands as the leading contributor of vaccines to the global community. This revelation quickly sparked public discourse. Netizens responded with biting remarks such as "shameless," "yet again, the human cost is brushed under the rug," leaving us with a triumphant narrative, and "we owe gratitude to the Communist Party for subjecting us to famine and other struggles." This has been an incredibly impactful 3 years in our lives. Some skeptically predicted that even those 7 lines of acknowledgement might disappear from history books within a few years, suggesting that China had orchestrated and enacted a 3-year drama with impressive coordination. They observed that just as other calamities throughout history have been portrayed as challenging explorations, it should come as no surprise that the fight against the pandemic is being cast as a great triumph. Originating in Wuhan City, Hubei Province, China, towards the end of 2019, the Chinese government has faced criticism for its lack of cooperation in traceability investigations and efforts to downplay the pandemic's impact. Reflecting on the early stages of the pandemic, CCP officials not only failed to implement immediate emergency measures but also suppressed information regarding the potential human-to-human transmission of the virus. Whistleblowers were stifled in their attempts to raise alarms in the international community. As the pandemic spiraled out of control and spread globally, the CCP not only vehemently rejected external skepticism but also asserted itself as the world's most successful nation in combating the virus while criticizing other countries for their perceived inadequate responses. Adding to the narrative, on December 7, 2022, China abruptly announced the abandonment of its previously stringent zero-COVID policy and its slogan of coexisting with the virus. This sudden shift led to a notable surge in hospitalizations and fatalities due to the pandemic. Regrettably, CCP officials once again embarked on an information suppression campaign. Earlier, a report by Reuters unveiled a study conducted by the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center in Seattle, which received federal funding from the United States. The study suggested that in just 2 months following December 2022, China may have experienced an excess death toll nearing 2 million. It is important to note that China ceased publishing official daily death data at the end of 2022. Globally, as of September 17, 2023, there have been over 770 million confirmed COVID-19 cases and more than 6.957 million reported deaths, marking one of the most significant pandemics in human history. Remarkably, this global data does not incorporate statistics from mainland China. The question of how many lives were claimed by this pandemic within China remains unanswered. Mr. Li Hongzhi, the founder of Falun Dafa, asserted earlier this year that the severity of the pandemic's impact in China over the past 3 years far exceeds the figures presented by the CCP. He stated, "Currently, the pandemic has taken the lives of 400 million people in China. When this wave of the pandemic subsides, China will lose 500 million lives." However, the Chinese Communist government has chosen to maintain a conspicuous silence on this matter, refraining from offering a direct response. The Asian Games in Hangzhou are being held under extremely strict security. As the countdown to the upcoming Asian Games in Hangzhou continues, the city has witnessed a significant escalation in security measures. Residents have raised concerns about the heightened security measures, with reports emerging of manhole covers across Hangzhou being affixed with security inspection labels. Notably, stringent security checks have become a recurring occurrence in the Hangzhou subway and on high-speed trains, where security personnel are even equipped with steel forks for patrolling. This heightened state of security has left some locals expressing frustration, deeming it a hyper-vigilant phase. Recently, netizens took to Weibo to share images showcasing the sealing of all manhole covers in Hangzhou with specialized security seals and inspection labels. The images depict inspections conducted on electric, communication, and sewage manhole covers, each marked and securely sealed. This revelation sparked curiosity among netizens, some of whom questioned the necessity, with comments such as, "Is this level of security truly warranted? And it seems like we're going overboard here. Shouldn't we focus on the people's well-being?" This practice of intensifying security measures in the lead-up to major events has become routine for the Chinese Communist Party in recent years, demonstrating a consistent trend towards increased rigidity. The Hangzhou Asian Games are scheduled to take place from September 23 to October 8, and security preparations have been in full swing. However, as of September 17, some netizens have voiced their frustration, describing the security checks in Hangzhou as having reached an alarming level. Reports indicate repeated security screenings at high-speed rail stations and subway stations. Some individuals have proposed an alternative approach to dealing with the situation, suggesting the possibility of another epidemic lockdown for Hangzhou. Some netizens expressed their frustration, with one remarking, "I consider Hangzhou West to be the most secure place in the country. After transferring from the high-speed rail to the subway and exiting the station, you're subjected to 2 more security checks." It's worth noting that Hangzhou had previously implemented a nationwide fly ban. This initiative, in effect from September 1 to October 28, entailed temporary restrictions on low, slow, and small aircraft and airborne objects across the entire administrative region of Hangzhou. Several individuals faced penalties for violations, with Hangzhou police investigating and addressing 53 cases of illegal drone flights from September 1 to 9 alone. Concurrently, when staying at a Hangzhou hotel, all guests, regardless of whether they possess a drone or not, are required to sign a no-fly agreement and receive daily reminders via text messages. Furthermore, there have been reports indicating that individuals with criminal records related to pornography were urged to leave Hangzhou before September 1 to foster a harmonious and stable social environment for the Asian Games. Hangzhou's bus and subway services also issued a notice, effective September 5, prohibiting the carriage of all types of electric vehicles and electric vehicle batteries on buses and subways, except personal wheelchairs for accessibility purposes. Media reports have disclosed the substantial cost associated with hosting the Asian Games in Hangzhou. A staggering 224.8 billion yuan has been allocated solely for urban infrastructure development and venue construction. The construction of stadiums alone accounts for an expenditure of 10.19 billion yuan, excluding expenses related to event organization and security. In contrast, sponsorship revenue stands at 6 billion yuan, copyright revenue at 4 billion yuan, and total ticket revenue at 4.644 billion yuan, amounting to less than 15 billion yuan in combined revenue, just a fraction of the total investment. Before the Asian Games, it was revealed that stainless steel retaining rings were installed around roadside trees. Additionally, various city enhancements have been noted, including bus stations equipped with independent air conditioning, subways featuring luxurious amenities, park benches furnished with network cable charging ports, and overpasses adorned with flowers. Furthermore, 3 potted plants were distributed to each household in the city, infusing Hangzhou with the fragrance of blossoms. Against the backdrop of global floods and the displacement of many disaster victims, the significant financial investments made by the Chinese Communist Party in these projects have raised questions among the populace. Some mainland media outlets have remarked that domestic enthusiasm for this event does not appear to match that of previous occasions. The substantial disparity between investment and returns, coupled with the deficit incurred, has spurred contemplation among the public. Analysis: risk in Zhongnanhai, forbidden army guards could potentially turn into assassins. Recently, the Epoch Times received information from authoritative sources that Xi Jinping believes in prophecies and is fearful that the prophecy of a coup and assassination might materialize for him. He has a mentor guiding him, and, to evade assassination, he frequently goes into hiding for no apparent reason. The prophecy associated with the coup is the 46th symbol in the Tuibei 2, which reads, "Dim clouds obscure the sky, killings without a blade. 10,000 people won't die, but one person will hardly escape." In the verse, it mentions a soldier with a bow, claiming to be a man with white hair. In the Eastern Gate, a hidden golden sword, a warrior enters the imperial palace from the back door. Commentator Hangzhou wrote in the Epoch Times, a hidden golden sword in the Eastern Gate, a warrior entering the imperial palace from the back door. It appears that the assassination occurred within Zhongnanhai, and it likely involved a close-quarters attack. In essence, external assassins may have entered through Zhongnanhai's back door. The original back entrance of Zhongnanhai was known as Fuhua Gate, which no longer exists. There used to be a division between the South Compound and the North Compound within Zhongnanhai, representing differing perspectives between the Chinese Communist Party Central Committee in the South Compound and the State Council in the North Compound. The State Council office in the North Compound can be considered the north entrance of Zhongnanhai, which is now referred to as the back entrance. According to Hangzhou's analysis, if a warrior enters the imperial palace from the back door were to occur, this warrior would likely enter Zhongnanhai through the main gate of the State Council office. Furthermore, in the Tuibei II, assassins are referred to as warriors, effectively justifying the act of assassination in advance. In essence, although these brave warriors act as assassins, their actions are seen as righteous and they are unlikely to indiscriminately kill innocent individuals. The Tuibei II also mentions a hidden golden sword in the Eastern Gate, suggesting the presence of assassins within the palace. Hangzhou said that Zhongnanhai was once the Shiyuan, western park, of the imperial palace, and the gate connecting the palace city and the Shiyuan was called the Shiyuan Gate, which was relative to the palace city. For Zhongnanhai, Xinhua Gate, formerly Baoyu Tower, should be the main entrance, and Shiyuan Gate becomes the east gate of Zhongnanhai. He believes that if we interpret a hidden golden sword in the Eastern Gate literally, the assassin may have been lurking in the Eastern Gate of Zhongnanhai, which is the Shiyuan Gate. They might have been waiting for Xi Jinping to pass by and then suddenly attack. However, Xi Jinping's visits to the Shiyuan Gate should be quite limited, and the assassin may not have the opportunity to wait. Of course, the assassin could also have concealed themselves at the Shiyuan Gate and waited for a quiet night to sneak into Nanhai, where Xi Jinping resides. Hangzhou mentioned that there is only a small road leading to Yingtai, and ordinary people would likely have difficulty getting close. Only Xi Jinping's close guards and service personnel can enter and exit Yingtai. However, if someone among them is involved in the assassination, it would be nearly impossible to prevent. A hidden golden sword in the Eastern Gate could also refer to the Eastern Gate within the Yingtai architectural complex, or it could metaphorically imply that the assassin was lurking at Xi Jinping's doorstep. However, if this phrase is merely a metaphor, then any place within Zhongnanhai could potentially hide an assassin, implying that there may be individuals within Zhongnanhai directly involved in the assassination, and the Forbidden Army guards and security personnel could become the assassins. According to Mr. Shen, if Xi Jinping and his entourage interpret the prophecy in this way, it would be difficult to trust their guards and service personnel. The assassin may use knives or guns, but killings without a blade is mentioned in the prophecy. Nowadays, assassins are more likely to use guns, or they may employ bombs or timed explosives, which can also be seen as the golden sword hidden in the Eastern Gate. Notably, the Central Security Bureau, often referred to as the Zhongnanhai Bodyguards or the Imperial Guard, has been involved in numerous historical coups. In the history of the CCP, the Central Security Bureau has been involved in important coups at the top of the CCP many times. The most typical one was when Mao Zedong died, and Wang Dongxing, the director of the Central Security Bureau, participated in the coup that overthrew the Gang of Four and Jiang Qing, Mao Zedong's wife. The Central Security Bureau also serves as Xi Jinping's personal security detail. Since Xi Jinping assumed power, there have been 4 changes in leadership at the Central Security Bureau in a span of 7 years. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.